let me tell you, the thing that comes so easy to you and you're naturally good at, sometimes we make, and sometimes I don't like this word side hustle because it sort of minimizes how important that the skill is. There's someone who would be willing to pay for your budget. And what's different about your budget? Probably you show people, investment options, you show people, find something interesting that has a twist. But please, 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 please think of monetizing either one or two things from your job description, or if you're really good, then take the bulk of what is in your job description and turn it into some form of consultancy. Welcome back to The Woman Experience. If you know someone who either is on their personal development journey, someone who wants to grow, to become better, to level up, this is your channel. Share it to someone and please consider subscribing. But welcome back. One of the things that I think I promised in another video that I did earlier this month was I want us to get comfortable talking about money, how to make more, how you can start thinking about extra sources of income. So today, for those of us girls in our 9-to-5 day jobs, I want you to come out of this episode with a couple of ideas of how you can earn more money without quitting your 9-to-5. So make more money and you're on your way to financial freedom. So let's dive in. One of the things that I wish I knew earlier in my career when starting out was the opportunities that I could have taken advantage of to make me more money while I was still in my career. And there's nothing bad about career. I think we have a lot of people right now, everyone is thinking about how I can get out of my career and, time flexibility, time freedom, flexibility. While all of that is great, I really do believe there's a lot of us who are really comfortable in their careers, who are thriving, who are winning, by the way. I'm also in a career myself, so I know what's that like. But sometimes you just need that extra money, or you are trying to test the waters of what more is out there. So today I want to give you a guide to things that you could slowly start doing, because I have experienced them. I have done some of these things, but also here's the thing. We are people who have family commitments. We do have a lot of demands on our finances. You want to invest, you want to do your savings, you want to travel, whatever your rich life looks like. I think one of the most underrated ways is earning an extra income while you're still in a career, because now you have, mindset-wise, you are not threatened that you could lose your job any soon. And so you're able to test out a lot of things. So here are a couple of ideas for you to think about, because I wish someone had told me this sooner when I was in my 20s, 30s in my career. So number one, turn your CV into your consulting business. This is what I'm trying to say. A lot of the times people think of consultancy as this big word. In fact, a while ago, 2 to 3, 4 years back, if you would have asked me like who a consultant is, I picture someone with like 15 years of experience, like an old man with a briefcase, or a woman who has like these many years of experience. But the truth of the matter is, whatever career field you're in, there is someone outside of the organization that you're working in that would learn to have that knowledge or skill, and they would pay you for it. So you want to look at your CV, your JD, because a lot of us get stuck on, oh, if I want to do any kind of consultancy, how do I begin to draft my value add or my proposition? Just look at your CV and turn that language into, as a consultant, this is my expertise. For example, if you're a finance manager and one of your job descriptions is to do payroll for the organizations, or to be able to create financial models for the organizations, you can then turn that CV into your consultant offering as like, I know how to build financial models for small businesses or organizations. I know how to do payroll for businesses. I know how to, I can work with Excel, and I know how to automate systems for you so that in your business you don't have to struggle. Just look at each bullet point in your resume and then think of how you can turn that to show that that is the value add to bring. So that's the most easiest and fastest way. So each of us is a consultant because you have a particular skill or an offering that most people don't have. And if you're still feeling that you're very early on in your career, break down to a niche. Even teaching Excel or teaching someone how to make a budget. By the way, we have a lot of people right now who are just making a lot of money in showing individuals how to just create a simple budget because they do not have one or they don't have the time. So you don't need also to lay out all the job description. Pick one niche and think, in my career, even if I'm like 3 years or 5 years in, what is the one simple thing I can turn into a skill? Which, for me, I'm a big proponent of not complicating things. Like literally, I have seen people sell their knowledge on like even how to grow hair. So for you who's in a career, already you have such an important skill set that you can just pick that one thing and then turn it like into a proposal. And if you're beginning, because again, mindset, sometimes, you're like, who will pay all of this much? You don't even need to charge that much. It's $3,000 on how to create a personal budget, and then try to put in your proposal, what problem are you solving it for and for who? So for example, if you're in your 20s and 30s and you're good at finances, show people how this is how you plan for financial growth in your 20s, and I teach you how by showing how to create a budget that works for you. Let me tell you, the thing that comes so easy to you and you're naturally good at, sometimes we make, and sometimes I don't like this word side hustle because it sort of minimizes how important that skill is. There's someone who would be willing to pay for your budget. And what's different about your budget? Probably you show people, investment options, you show people, find something interesting that has a twist. But please, 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 please think of monetizing either one or two things from your job description, or if you're really good, then take the bulk of what is in your job description and turn it into some form of consultancy. If I knew this early enough, I would be so far ahead, because I always thought that to be consulted, you needed to have such a huge skill. So one of the things, for example, that I do now is that I do resumes for people because I'm very good in communications and editing. People just came to me and they're like, would you have a look at my CV? And that's something that comes so naturally to me, writing, editing, language. But to someone else, they either don't have the time or they just don't want a polished, the formatting is all great, but it doesn't sell who they are. So because I am a writer, I'm able to look at it and flip a few things around, do the editing, and voila, I have my money. So please, please, please make a point of turning your CV into a consulting document. and then let people know, which is very, very important. We are not trying to do things and not letting people know. In terms of the pricing, I will leave you to decide, but there's a lot of frameworks for how you decide to price. But especially if you're starting early on, start small, test the waters, but don't wait for a lot of time, because you are already sitting on a minefield. And which takes me to number 2, which is start to think of a digital product. A digital product is the same thing as what you have. So you have thought about the skill you're good at, and now you're able to share it. So share it, I can do this for you, I can do this for you. A digital product is a bit different in the sense that you will start to put together a document that has a solution to a problem that people have, and you will be ready to share it with any willing buyer as long as they have asked for it. And sometimes when we talk about digital products, there's a lot of now information out there, and I hope to really share this here about how we can go about digital products. But here's the thing, I want you to start small, and I want us to be practical. What's up? Just turn whatever skill you have. For example, it could be how to grow hair. Literally, there are people who even have digital products like how to grow longer nails. I kid you not. So for example, if you are maybe really good with budgeting, or you're good with cooking recipes for small children, or you're really good at homemaking, you're really good at whatever skill is. And my mom, I know you listen to this channel, so I'm talking to you through this YouTube. She's really good at making yogurt, and she has dairy cows. We have dairy cows at home, and my mom has the best yogurt. So it's a matter of just putting all of those things in a PDF and stay with it on your phone, so that every time someone comes to ask you, oh, by the way, you do this so well, how do you do it? Say, I have a digital product. Because sometimes we think of having to house it in a website, which is great and all of that, but that will come later. Right now, you just need to capture the knowledge that you have, write it down in a format that readers can understand. Make sure you're solving a problem, you're giving value, and for sure that if someone reads this, they will improve or have a solution to whatever it is that they have. And the reason I love digital products, you're not actively selling it all the time, and it does not take time away from you. It gives you time freedom because it's already there. All you need to be updating it is once every 3 or 6 months when new information comes in, and that's what you send to people. I was speaking to my cousin the other day, and she's really good in the beauty industry and knowing if you have a beauty shop. She's very good at advising, these are the products you stock in your shop. This is how you can make your salon grow. These are the kind of hairs that, the kind of hair that moves around very quick. And I told her, if people are always coming, taking your time, sitting you for 2 to 3 hours and asking about all of this information because they want to start a salon or they want to get into the beauty industry, you're literally giving away so much information, and it's a gold mine for free. While it's not a bad thing, she can just have that written down somewhere, so that every time someone is hey, have this for 2,000, for 3,000, for whatever, because you get to decide your rate and you know how valuable your information is. And this is the thing, don't feel bad about charging someone for information, because you know the kind of value that you're giving them, and sometimes it will pay off. It's much more than what they paid for. And actually, when people pay, they pay attention. So now you have even freed your time because it's in your phone, and also people don't have to come asking you. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the one thing that constantly people tell you you're good at, and sometimes you take it for granted? I don't care what it is, but if it comes so easy to you and it's something that people can use it, please do have a digital product. So, and it's the easiest way, because even if you're in a 9 to 5, it's not taking away the time that you have at work. So that's another thing. Please create digital products and just start with just having a PDF on your email, on your WhatsApp. It's as simple as that, and sell it. The other thing I want to talk about is a lot of people do not think about their organizations as a tool you can use to upskill. Now, I know a lot of organizations these days are really invested in people, personal development. They have a fund for learning and development, and you would be surprised how many people do not use that budget. So every year there's an allocation for you to either upskill or, just learn something new for your personal development. And then because of time constraints or you don't think of it, you don't take advantage of that. There are people who have really benefited from it, because I would use that as a tool to upskill for free, right? Because the organization is paying. Of course, you would have to connect to the nature of work that you do. It doesn't really matter. But most of these skills, you can also now use them for your side hustles or your side gig, because then you know much more, or you now have the knowledge that is required. So please, 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 for those of you who are in organizations where your learning and development is catered for, why not use that? Because then you are able to tap into those resources. It's for free. You're not using extra money, and then you're able to learn a new skill. So that's another huge thing that you can do to earn more money, because the more knowledgeable you keep getting, your day rate, your hourly rate increases, because you know the kind of value that you are adding. So the other way that you can make money that I have seen is also, if you're still unsure about the digital products, or putting it together will take time, using your expertise, you can use it as a tool for teaching or speaking workshops. This is another quick way to also earn extra money. So where instead of having to now put together your digital products, you just become the person, especially to communities around you, things like church places. So for example, if you're in finance, even if you're in communications like me, you can teach public speaking skills to people who want to raise their confidence. You can coach people on how to be more confident, which I do for women leaders. You can just try and think, even if you're in the legal profession, for example, people might need to know, for example, what does the law say about marriage and the law? What does the law say about a small business? Because all of this information and things that you so effortlessly do during the day at your day job, we have people out there who either do not have the time, or someone has never spoken to them. So approach communities around you, chamas, church groups. And by the way, one tip I would tell any career person: whenever you have a public speaking opportunity at your workplace, please do it. Because public speaking is one of the single most important skill that you can acquire that can literally give you more money. So you try and organize, even if it's, meetings with these people, teach them this skill. You can say like a 2-3 hour workshop or a half a day workshop at the church. Teach women teach women and men how to organize their finances. And by the way, we are also in the age of webinars, Zoom. So just get a couple of people, sell the idea that you have. Have them pay a small fee to your M-Pesa and just take people through whatever it is. So speaking about your expertise to groups and in public speaking spaces, very, very, very easy. And I know, by the way, a lot of institutions like churches are always looking for such kinds of people. And it's because most of us in careers are not letting people know what we do, or sometimes don't come up to some of these institutions and tell them, but if you need a finance person, I'm here. And maybe in the first 1 or 2 instances, it could be free of charge. But when people start seeing your value, then they start paying you for it. So I want you to be on the lookout for any community or anywhere where people could use that skill, and try to start even doing that online. So that's another easy way to earn income while still doing your 9 to 5. The other thing that I would really encourage anyone in their career. We talked of upskilling using the company programs, but I think the other thing that you could also do that doesn't cost you money is free upskilling on YouTube and TikTok. Now, I said in a separate video about mindset shift, someone could be on TikTok and YouTube and they're making more money just from the content they're consuming, while you are there just scrolling on other things. So you can call this like your money hour, where you think of like, I want to learn graphic design because there's now YouTube University. I want to learn how to coach people to make budgets. Like literally, right now, people are pouring a wealth of information. So just really freely upskill on YouTube for about 3 to 5 months, then start to put something together and let people know that you now have this new skill set. Literally, I'm making it look easy, but you just have to have the intention to do it. So those are some of the tips I have. Just really think of a way that you can use your 9 to 5 as a stepping stone. The other one actually that comes to mind is the networks. One of the best things for anyone in your career is that you have access to networks you would otherwise not have had were you not in that company. So you're sent to meetings, the people you work with, or you're known in your industry. It's very easy to get into certain rooms. So choose the people that you really admire in the way that they carry out either their business or the way they have carried out their career life and they have monetized it, and ask to speak with them to see how they actually do it. So also leverage on the networks you have in your career for them to be able to teach you how they've been able to earn an extra income. Because it's so easy, because we've all left certain jobs and we couldn't access some rooms that we could previously access, because just by the nature of being in a company, you have access to so many rooms and people. So this is hugely important. Career has often gotten a bad rep, but personally, I have grown so much in my career. There's rooms I would for sure never have entered if I wasn't in this career. There's so many opportunities that have been given to me, whether through some of these funds in previous places where I've worked. But I wish I had started earlier on, things like turning my CV into some form of consultancy. So I hope this is helpful. And that it's given you like an idea of like, I do not have to wait. And by the way, let time. This year, we are not saying that we don't have time to make an extra buck. Because, for example, things like digital products, we just need to sit down maybe 1 or 2 or 3 weekends or a month, put something together and let it be on your phone ready to send out if someone ever asks you, and tell people that you're selling it. Because time has become such an excuse, and it was also mine for the longest time. I never had the time to do the things that I wanted to do because there was no time. But if it's important for you to jump out of this constant hustle culture and eventually in a couple of years or months create money freedom, then you just have to create the time for it. So I hope this was helpful, and let's use our careers in ways that are earning us extra money. And can you also please share in the comments, because I know there's so many things I've left out, because some of you have managed to do this. I'm also still learning. I'm on that journey. Let me know, but I'll see you in the next episode, and bye-bye.